Yo, what's up, Essence Fest? How y'all doing today? Welcome back to the Sway Men's Lounge. I am Okla Jones, the senior entertainment editor for Essence Magazine. So we have a great conversation with a great brother today, because a great watch tells more than time. It tells a story. And today, myself and Mouse Jones, we're going to explore the culture of watch collecting, from craftsmanship and investment to personal stories behind every timepiece. Y'all welcome Mouse Jones. What's up, Mouse?
What's up, Essence Fest? What's up? How's everybody feeling? All right. Y'all better make a little more noise than that, because we could be outside in that heat. But God. All right.
So, yeah, I was talking to Mouse in the back, man. He's born and raised in New York, but he's always in this city. He loves this city, man. He's a staple in the city. So I wanted to ask you for my first question. What is the city of New Orleans? What does it mean to you, man?
Listen, I told you backstage, and I tell everybody that listens, New Orleans means being home. Like, I've never had that feeling, it's even funny saying this, on the 4th of July. Like, across all these talks, across social media, everybody's always talking about, foundational Black Americans and what feels like home and who's from where. But as somebody who's born and raised in America, as far as my lineage goes back, it's in America. New Orleans is the one place that since I came here, it felt like home. It always has that tug. You know what I mean? If I'm away from here too long, I'm like, I need to get back to New Orleans. Even if it's for a crab beignet, or if it's just to sit on the porch in Gentilly, or, you know what I mean? Just, it feels like home. But yeah, it just feels like home. And I was telling you before, I love being from New York, Long Island by way of Brooklyn, New York. But, there's nothing in the world that feels like experiencing New Orleans. Nothing.
What's your favorite food from the city, man? Like, what's your go-to dish?
Oh, you trying to get me started. My favorite food in the city, it comes from my homegirl Nina and her mama. When they be Nina and their mama be cooking uptown. But I love the crab beignets from Loretta's. They got that praline beignet, dangerous. Somebody, the authorities should look into it. It's 3 of them. They give you 3 of them. They give you 2 of everything else, but they give you 3 of them dangerous I'm gonna take it up with my doctor. Them voodoo rolls from New Orleans Seafood
You be everywhere.
and get you a crab, get you one of them boils from Denny's. Make sure that turkey neck in there.
So you got on a nice watch right now, my brother.
It's a little nice. Tell the time.
Hey, man. So what, I guess, first sparked your interest in watches and watch collecting, man?
When you in New York, man, and I hate to be the person that does it. When you in New York, certain things, being a black man, certain things are just unfortunately connected to not so good parts of the world, right? So I say plainly, I grew up around some drug dealers, and a nice watch was a statement piece. And I guess that, trickled down from, white people. You realize in these industries, when you walk into a room, certain things speak before you even speak. People looking at you when you got a watch on. They're checking what watch you got on. They're checking if you have a watch on. I remember being like 16, 17, and my dad being like, why you don't got no watch? He not saying why I don't got a Rolex, and he just, why you don't have no watch? It's the old timers, they believe why you don't need to tell your time, why you don't believe. And then as we get older, we start just putting our money and our care into things that appreciate. But yeah, growing up, I've always watched the watches, and I knew very early on. I said, "Oh, my first watch got to be a Cartier tank. Got to be a Cartier tank with the baguettes on the side." That was my first watch. I said my second watch, it got to be a 36 millimeter. Got to be a Datejust. I need a 2-tone with the Jubilee band. That's what it was. My next watch, I don't want to say it too loud because I don't want nobody to knock me over the head before I get my hands on it. But but yeah, man, just always having something, whether it's your work, whether it's the way you're put together, or whether it's your watch, whether it's your sneakers, something always speaks for you when you enter a room before you open your mouth.
And I'm interested in your response in this, brother. Like, what do you think separates a good watch from a great watch?
You. We live in like a hyper consumer driven world. Capitalism has invaded all parts of our life to where, you know, everything's a quiet competition. You don't really know. There's a lot of guys who don't really know what watch they like because they're focused on getting or attaining a watch that someone else has. Same thing with cars, clothes, sneakers. We're never really able to, because we live in such a consumer-driven world, because capitalism pushes us and won't let us rest. You know, everybody's always looking for the next thing, that you really don't take time to know what you like. So to answer your question, you are what decides what's a great watch and what's a good watch.
So kind of add to that, what advice would you give to someone that may be on a budget, that might not can afford the Cartiers or the Rolexes, like, but they trying to get into the watch collecting game and they want a nice timepiece?
What looks good? What looks good? Don't go for the thing that looks like the thing. I think, he would have been great to have on this panel too, but I'm glad I'm here. Kev on stage. That's my homeboy. Kev, he's intentional. Every watch that I've seen, every watch Kev has is a black-owned watch. Every single one. He has a massive collection, but they're like black-owned, black-made watches. That's fire to me. Like, I grew up liking what I like, and I was able to, I was lucky enough to get my hands on those things and attain those things. But you got to know what you like before you start talking about a budget, because you might be budgeting for something that you might not like. So now you have this thing, and you got to know what you have it for.
And so, you were actually talking about your dad in the back too, man.
Yeah.
My father passed when I was 9 years old.
God bless.
And I got a lot of things passed down from him, and one of them was a couple of his watches too,
Yeah.
So I wanted to ask you about watches as heirlooms, man.
Yeah.
Because they become more than accessories for black cultures, man. Like, why do you think they've become such powerful symbols for style, success, and legacy?
I think when a watch is passed down as an heirloom, that's a testament to how that watch was made. The movement, the finish, the mechanics, right? All of that is super integral to it being able to be passed down. Because, and I'm not disrespecting anybody, you can't really pass down a Seiko. You can't really pass that down. You just go ahead in the store and get you one. You pass down these Rolexes, these Cartier, these legacy brands. It speaks to the testament of how well the watch was made, how was that curated, and you would hope that that's something you're leaving behind, because essentially it's an asset.
And then what draws you to a particular watch? Is it just that you like it, or is it something that you might not have in your collection? That's what draws you to it? Like, what's your process when you're picking out a watch to purchase?
It's funny. I was actually having this conversation earlier this week. Everything about me from head to toe, it stems from my fashion sense. So everything I'm 5'9", right? Everything gotta be within dimension and proportion. If it's not, it's gonna look crazy. So even when it comes to watches and bracelets, how does that look against my skin? How does that look against my wrist? It's a lot of people, if you know watches, a lot of people believe that men should always have a 40 millimeter, 41. Well, for me, that's a little big on my wrist, and it doesn't look the same. A 36 is a bit more cleaner of a look. Also, we're now not just we're not, not a young black men that's affluent and we control our destiny. We're not always wearing these watches with suits. So it's like, all right, well, if I got a watch that's too clunky, now I'm gonna look dumb, and now the band is now the links is loose. You know what I mean? So I take all that into account the same way I take how long is these shorts? How long are the socks? How this sneaker, is it a high top, is it a low top? Same thing with my watch.
I wanted to ask you too about the Kevin on stage thing that you brought up earlier, man. Why do you think that these black brands don't I don't want to use the translate as well as these legacy watch brands, man?
Oh man, how much time do we have? I think it's the simple non-hopeful answer: capitalism. And it's an ugly machine. The more in-depth answer is, some of these watch brands don't have the means to go head-to-head in the marketplace with these legacy brands. So, you may not have it's just like anything. So you may not have some of these timepieces or these companies that have the capital to go up against a Rolex, a Cartier, AP, a Richard Mille. So now you're like, well, I get it to the consumer.
And how important do you think hip-hop has been to the evolution of watches and watch collecting, man?
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Hip hop is like many things in our community. Hip hop is one of the lifelines, especially now, right? And from a sense of we live in an era that everything is, there's a resale market on everything. Sneakers, jeans, clothes. You know, if a vape drops right now, you know, if you didn't get your hands on it in the first 2 hours, that thing that's $120 is going to be $300 on StockX. Same thing with the watch market. Guys are flipping things and what can make them money. They're flipping it, and you know, the artists believe that the more money you spend on something, the more appealing it is. So, you know, you have these guys like Little Baby going into Icebox, dropping 2.5 on 2 Richard Milles in an AP. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, now when you see that on the internet, I gotta go get that.
How you feel about like crushed out watches as opposed to like the
Terrible.
classic time?
In New York, we call them bust downs. It's terrible. It's a terrible investment. It's gaudy. Bust downs are for ladies. That's how I feel. It's because you're not using it to tell the time. You just got a blinged out bracelet. You know what I mean? Put that on a young lady and get you a grown man watch. That's how I feel.
And with the evolution of social media and the digital age too, a lot of people don't wear watches anymore. You know, where do you think the watch game is gonna go in the future, man? With, you know, the phones and everything like that. Where do you think it's gonna go, man?
So that's a funny thing because I remember like I told you earlier, when my dad asked me where my watch was, I said I got a phone. But then the older you get, you realize, you need a watch. You need a watch, and it ain't the Apple Watch either. You're not a Power Ranger. You're not Kim Possible. Yeah, leave the Apple Watch at home. That's for your workout. To count your steps. Get you a real watch. But to be honest, you ain't never seen a Rolex commercial. You never seen a Cartier commercial. You never seen a Richard Mille commercial. You never seen an AP commercial. And these watches are only appreciating. Every year they're coming out with new drops. It's not going anywhere. It's just about where the attention is going. But once again, it's a testament to the way, to anything, right? We don't even have to just leave it at watches. It's a testament to anything that you put your hand to. What's going to last is the thing that you put the time and effort into crafting. So the same way that watch costs all that money because of the movement, the mechanics, the finish, the series. Same thing with your career. Your career is going to last because of the mechanics, the movement. You get what I'm saying?
So do you have a budget for like what's too much to spend on a watch, man?
If I'm being honest, if I want it, I don't got no budget. If I want it, I'm going to go get that watch. You know, the budget is whatever it's going to cost me to get it. But, you know, there's so many avenues that it goes back to what I was saying earlier. You don't have to be beholden to what everyone else is doing. There's a bunch. I tell everybody that asks me about a watch, go down to your local jewelry district, find you the watchman. They're gonna have some Rolexes in there, and they're gonna be a few 1936 series, and they might be from 1986. It's a good date, just. It's gonna cost you about $3,500. Put that on. Wear that. It'll let you know if you want to keep investing in it, and if not, flip it. If not, let that be a watch. Keep it. There's a lot more things. There's a lot more important things going on in our world that we should be focusing on than what's on our wrist. So, you know, if you want a watch, if that's what you care about, go ahead. Spend that. Put that little $2,500, $3,500 into getting you a date just getting started.
And would you rather strapped watches or metal?
You need a metal, man. We're grown-ups. Man. And the only time I want to strap watches if I'm working out or something. But a leather strap. Yeah. So no. It's like my Cartier tank. That was a leather strap. I thought you were talking about the Velcro ones. No. So when it comes to that, it depends on the outfit. So like I'll wear a strap if I'm trying to dress something up, and then metal if I'm trying to dress it down.
And do you think watches are good gifts for people? And if so, what's your process when you're picking out a watch for someone other than yourself, man?
My process for picking out a watch for someone other than myself is, what is the most cheapest? What will I not mind spending this money on? I think watches, like anything that somebody has to wear, whether it's a hat, sneakers, you got to know the person you're buying this watch for. You got to know what they like, because you don't want to be the person that buys the watch, gives the gift, and they're like, thanks. You know what I mean? It's just, some of this stuff isn't just, malignant to watches. It's just, put more care and effort in the way you think about who you're giving a gift for in general. Will they even like a watch? Or could you have gotten them something else that they would have liked better? You know what I mean? It's just knowing the person you're buying that watch for, because nothing is like bar all. Nothing is one all.
And why do you think it's important to have a variety of watches in your collection as opposed to just a select few?
That's a good question, because I don't know if there is. I think there's some people whose personality allows them to have just one of the thing. And then there's certain people who get caught up in consumerism. Some people are just natural collectors and just find themselves collecting things. I think it really boils down to that person. Yeah.
What's the first watch you bought? The first watch that you've ever bought?
The first watch I bought was that Cartier. That was my first watch I ever bought. Yeah. I jumped on the well, because it was, I bought an Apple Watch. And then I was like, I can't wear this with no outfit. Like, I'm bugging. And then I was bare-wristed. And then I just saved up my money. And I was like, the first watch I want a Cartier with the gator strap with the baguettes on the side. And I was able to get that. And then later that year, I was able to get my two-tone, the green face. And I naturally am drawn to collecting these things because I like how they look with these outfits and with my fashion sense. But like I said, there's some people get one watch and they're good.
So there may be other sneakers that do this, but I feel like the Jordan 3 Cement go with any outfit.
The black Jordan 3 Cement.
The black one,
absolutely.
Yes, they go with any outfit.
Absolutely.
Do you feel as though there's a watch?
Oh, absolutely.
The same thing.
Date just what is that? The 9936. It's a metal two-tone or one-tone, single-tone. Solid movement. If you care about that, it's every day. It's go-to. It's you're not gonna bang it up. You're not gonna destroy it. It's gonna survive. I even think the newer ones have the crystal watch piece joint. So yeah, I think that one goes with everything.
So I wanted to ask you too, we have a lot of beautiful people in the audience, beautiful people walking, and I love seeing black people doing positive things, learning things, man. Talk to me about the Essence Festival, your experience, and why it means so much to you, brother.
So this is my 19, we skipped 20, 21, 22, 23. I don't know, I'm not good with math.
Veteran.
But I've been coming here since 2019. And every year, like I said, it just feels like a big homecoming. And I'm meeting new people. And it also, at least for me, it's a marker in your career, right? When you have a front-facing career, I spend, from the time you see me to the next year you see me, I'm out here, I'm touring, and I'm doing new things, I'm introducing new ideas to the world, and I'm on different platforms. So then when I get here and I feel the new love, oh, I seen you on this, and I seen you on that. Or, hey, I seen you, I seen you at Wally Burger a few weeks ago. What you was doing out here? It just is it's a marker like, okay, the family here, the family love me. But I mean, just at a bigger tone, this is amazing. This is community work. Like, y'all open the doors at 8 a.m. and all these people flood in and there's lines and it's not just the surface stuff. Y'all got always over there making sure that the feminine products are being given out. You got BeautyCon making sure people are being taken care of. You got Simply Lemonade making sure people are engaged. I love it, man. Like it's community, and I think I've always lent myself to community, and probably that's why I love Essence Fest. And no matter when I'm here, why I'm here, I always make sure that I stop at the convention center. I gotta feel that love.
And if you guys want a tutorial on what to do for Essence Fest weekend, go to @mouse_Jones and look at his page. He breaks down where to go for food, what not to wear. I was about to wear my Jordan 4s today.
Look, I'm a fraud. Look, all my friends, they about to point at me. I'm a fraud. And I told everybody don't wear them hard Jordan 1s or Jordan 4s and wear your Unk shoes. I forgot my Unk shoes in the house. I've been in here with these hard Jordan 1s and these Air Force 1s all week. But yeah, definitely be smart. Wear some shoes to get you an insole or something. We getting up there.
Yeah, man. Y'all give it up for the amazing Mouse Jones. Loud. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for everything, man.
Thank you so much.
My man.
Love y'all, Essence Fest.